Jacqueline. Welcome back, or welcome here if it's your first time. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I'm really excited to have you here. I thought we would talk about a new collection today that I stumbled upon in my local Walgreens, and I didn't realize how new it was until about a week later I saw it on Trend Mood on Instagram. I realized I probably could have announced that myself. Oh well. Physicians Formula, if you're not familiar, they actually launched in 1937, which I was not aware of until I saw their display for their 80th anniversary collection. If I can find it online, I will insert a picture of this display here. I did not take this picture, I should have, but Walgreens gets really weird about photography and videography and that sort of thing on their premises, so forgive me. I wanted to show you guys a couple of the things that I picked up. I picked up initially one lip product and one eye quad, and after swatching them, decided that I needed the other eye quad because though I haven't put them on my eyes yet, I'm really expecting good things from these. Let's briefly take a look at what I've picked up. Sorry, my face looks otherwise unfinished. It very much is. I just have my base set and we're prepped to try on some color products. I picked up for the lip product this limited edition hypoallergenic lipstick in the shade Nude. I'll swatch this for you. I'm gonna do one swipe for you and then layer it so that you guys get the full color. So this is not a super opaque lipstick. It is not a matte lipstick. It is just a creamy formula. So this is one swipe and this is layering it up 2 or 3 times. So it's a really pretty neutral nude, kind of peachy shade. Claims to be long-lasting and a non-drying formula for comfortable wear. In 1937, renowned allergist Dr. Frank Crandall created Physicians Formula as a love ode to his wife, who suffered from lupus and longed for cosmetics that wouldn't aggravate her sensitive skin. Crandall's first product was the hypoallergenic lipstick, which stands the test of time and is recreated in this once-in-a-century limited edition release. You can see why I kind of jumped on this. I had never seen a lipstick, just a pretty nude lipstick by Physicians Formula, and maybe that's the displays around me, just don't carry it. The first eyeshadow quad I picked up was this Smoky Plums quad. Let me open this up. Well, I'll show you the outside first. It's really cute. Sorry, it's reflecting my light for you, but it's got this really cute textured metal-like packaging. It's really just plastic, but it looks like metal. And here are your colors. So this is kind of a satiny, taupey brown. So it's not matte. This is matte. And then you have your 2 shimmery purpley shades as well. Just for a little sneak preview, look at that. Isn't that insane? Okay, now you're ready and fully prepared for these swatches. Let me clean off my hand before I get this everywhere. Here are the swatches for the Smoky Plums palette. So this is that kind of brighter purple and then that deeper shimmery purple. Then you have your 2 more matte satin shades here. This one is more matte, this one is more satin. Just in my opinion, it may not affect it at all once it's blended out, but swatched on my hand, I can tell a difference. When I swatched these, I was like, wow. The quality of these is on another level for drugstore, so I had to go and pick up the other quad that was included in this display. What's nice about this is it does have a magnetic closure, though this is plastic packaging. It shuts itself, which is kind of nice. Should help those stay as hydrated as they can. This is the other quad that I picked up. This is the more neutral quad. In all honesty, the color that deterred me from this quad was this frosty silvery white. Now, because I've swatched those purples, I'm actually quite excited to see what this looks like. And I'm not nearly as scared as I was before, because I just thought it might be a little too chunky to be useful just from looking at it in the pan, but I'm hopeful now after at least testing the formula by swatching. I feel a little reassured. These feel very different. Whoa, look at that. Okay, the one that scared me away might be the star of the palette. Wow. Okay. I'll eat my words, that's fine. Whoa. Prepare yourself, because this is a little bit nuts. This is that quad swatched. I mean, good lord, that's amazing. This top one is kind of powdery. It's kind of chunky. Let me show you the pan so that you get an idea what I'm saying. Built up on itself a little bit. It kind of clumps up if you swirl in there, so I think it's just going to be a kind of a dry formula. This one too. This was actually 2 or 3 swatches. This particular pan is either pressed much differently or it's just a drier formula. Not being a makeup producer myself, I can't really tell you. This sparkly white is otherworldly. I mean, I don't know how they got this to be in a pan, but I'm frankly shocked and amazed and excited to use that. This gold too, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. So beautiful. I don't know if I can choose between these two palettes. We might have to play with both because they're just that beautiful. I'm gonna do what I did last time and kind of do a look on one eye so that I get my ideas together, and then I will come back and recreate it with you guys on the other side. Excuse me while I go play for a minute. What I would briefly name this look is how to use all the colors in one spot. I use as many colors as possible from these two quads. That's essentially how you accomplish this look. But I'm going to show you guys step by step how I got here. So hang in there. We used every shade. It's going to take us a minute. So first I'm using my Wet n Wild Fluffy Crease Brush, but I regretted using one of them. We're going to use it anyway, and that's this one that went kind of chunky. You can see it's still behaving differently than every other color in this palette. Has a lot of kick up. It doesn't sit the same on the skin as the other shadows do, which I'll try to show you here in a second. I'm just setting down that crease portion a little bit. I thought originally this would be a transition shade and it just didn't really show up on my skin. But then when I got close, I saw this kind of gross powdery texture. So we survived. Like, we ended up with a decent eye look, so it's not gonna throw off the whole thing. Figure we might as well keep it the same. I reached into the Smoky Plums palette and started to build this up as a transition because this one just doesn't do it. Let's see if we get up close, if you can see. There's just like emphasized texture here in my crease, particularly right in this area. You can see all the texture on my eyelid. I don't like that. Certain shadows do that, and I think it's a quality thing. I'm not pleased with that, so I'm gonna try to build up this more taupey, satiny brown. I just think this is the most beautiful color in this collection. Like, I mean, if you had to pick one palette to go with, I would go with the Smoky Plums, just based on what I've experienced thus far, particularly for this shade that we're using right now, this one right here. It is a satin finish, but oh my goodness, this is just a beautiful, beautiful transition shade, and I'm gonna go in with a more detailed brush in a second. I'm gonna dip into that same shade with my Sigma E25, and we're just gonna build that up a little bit denser in the crease. I just feel like this shade I'm gonna hit pan on first because I feel like I'm gonna reach for this quad for this shade specifically because it's just the perfect transition shade for me. I'm going to grab a little bit of this shade here, this warmer shade in the browns, which, what are these called? Just the Classic Nudes palette. I don't think I said that this entire time, but the more neutral palette is called the Classic Nudes. And I'm gonna be taking a little bit of this warm brown, and then I'm also gonna be dipping into that color we just used in the Smoky Plums, this one here. So I'm mixing those two colors on my brush and adding that into the crease. Something bizarre that's happening right now that was not happening to me earlier is I have a bunch of fallout that's kind of collecting over here. I'm gonna grab my under eye setting brush and try to, oh good, whisked away really easy. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of this dark matte brown from the Smoky Plums palette using that same Sigma E25. just in case there's too much excess on there. And I'm going to focus this on the outer portion of the crease, so the outer half or the outer third of this crease, depending on your eye proportions. I'm also going to pack this kind of on the outer corner. Then I'm going to go back in with my fluffy crease brush and a little bit of that transition shade and just blend those edges a little bit. I'm going to use my finger in this Smoky Plums palette and go into the lighter of the two shimmer shades. And I'm going to apply this on the center of my lid. Now, you will get some fallout with this. I kind of press and drag is what works with this shadow. Wow. It's super opaque. This is kind of a chunky formula, but it's one of those that really melds with the skin once it's on there, so it doesn't continue to have fallout. I think this formula is really unique, and I've not seen something like this at the drugstore. So I'm really impressed. Most of their pigments, even the pressed ones, I find that I need to use an adhesive. And I really think that that pressing and dragging is what really activates this glitter. For whatever reason, this formula is kind of unique. Again, I'm going to take my under eye setting brush and just whisk away these little fallout pieces before they have a chance to settle and make their mark on my concealer. So now I'm going to clean off my finger and very delicately, being the key word, I'm going to dip into this darker purple now. And I just want to do a little dot on my finger because we want a little more control with this color. It's just going to go on the outer corner to kind of blend this into that more matte shade we already put there. This way it'll make that purple more dimensional, to have the darker on this outer portion. See that? And I'm again trying to place and drag a little bit because that's what really works with this formula. It's a strange formula, but I really like how it's working so far. It's very effective. We'll see how it wears. I will do check-ins. Go back to my Sigma E25 and that dark matte brown in the Plums palette. And I'm just going to take this on that crease and blend those so that they seem to kind of fade together. I mean, for having fallout, this is kind of the best kind to have because it doesn't stick. I have powdered my under eyes, so that is what's really aiding in this process, but it's nice that this fallout does not seem to be sticking. Oh, except when the gold shimmers fall. Oh, that's gonna be fun. We'll deal with that in a minute. I'm gonna show you guys what I did because this was kind of a mistake, but to get the same look on both eyes, you gotta do all the steps. What I'm gonna do is actually take this little sponge tip applicator that came with the palettes and dip this into this gold here. This is a very chunky formula as well, just like that purple. And we're going to wet this with some MAC Fix Plus. And I'm going to put this on my inner corner, just like I did on this eye. Just in my opinion, that's a little too intense. So what I do is I actually grab a little bit on my finger using a small, I don't know if this is an eyeshadow brush or a concealer brush by Wet n Wild because it doesn't have a name on it, but I tend to use it for eyeshadow. So I'm gonna dampen this and then dip it in that lighter purple shade. And I'm gonna blend the two shades together. A fan of this fallout, but I'm also someone who typically does my eyes before my face, so this is not typical order of operations for me. in my normal routine, this would not trip me up very much. Let's do the lower lash line now. I'm gonna grab my shading brush by Real Techniques as usual for my lower lash line. And I'm gonna take this deeper brown from the Classic Nudes palette. Just kind of dab my brush all in there and apply this to the lower lash line. Eyes water like crazy when I work on the lower lash line, so sorry. It's something they don't tell you when you have multiple eye surgeries, but I'd still do it again. Minor inconvenience. They do the same thing when I curl my lashes, is why I never do that on camera. This is my trick. It's just kind of peel your lower lid down and roll that cotton swab in to kind of soak up the excess. Then you don't mess up your makeup. I've had a lot of practice. I'm dipping that same brush, haven't wiped it off or anything, into this transition shade we used earlier. And I'm gonna use that to blend out. Grabbing this little pointed pencil brush, you can use whatever you have. This is from an old Sonia Kashuk set. And I'm going to dampen this and dip it into this lightest shade in the Classic Nudes palette, and we're gonna put that on our inner corner. So intense. This is the eyeshadow look finished. What I am gonna do is I'm going to dust under my eyes and then mist with some Fix Plus to kind of lock everything in. To go under my eyes, I'm going to pick up a little extra of my under eye setting powder by e.l.f. Just buff away anything that shouldn't be there. I do already have a layer of this down, is why everything buffs away so easily. But I just don't want any glitters or anything hanging on. I'm going to put on a little bit of eyeliner and mascara, and then I will come back and check in with you guys so you can see this look with a full face finished. All right, so this is our completed face. I almost forgot that we're trying on a lip color, so saved myself. Let's try on this nude lipstick. I'm really excited. I've been anxious to try this and thought I would wait for you guys to see your thoughts too. This is so comfy. Wow. That's such a creamy, buttery formula. I really like it. Feels really, really comfortable. I think it's nice. I think it pairs well with the purple. It's just enough color to really be visible on my lips, but not to compete with for attention with anything. I really enjoy this lip color. I feel like this is going to be going in my purse because this is the perfect shade to just throw on the go. Oh, also, before we move on, there are a couple of other items that I did not pick up from this line. There were about 3 different colors of this lipstick that I have not purchased. There was a red, a coral, and a pink. I can't remember the depth of the pink. However, there are 3 more shades of this lipstick to try if you're not a nude person. There were also some cream foundations, I believe, that were a part of this line. Cream or powder foundations. I believe it was cream. None of them would have suited my skin tone, is why I didn't purchase any. They all seem to be very neutral leaning pink. They had very pinky bisque type undertones and were all very medium as far as skin depth. So I'm not really sure who they're catering to with that. It did not seem diverse enough at all. I mean, even for Physicians Formula, I did not pick up any of those cream foundations. They seemed very pinky and medium, and that's not me in any way, shape, or form. So I left those to lie there And they also launched a limited edition of their pearl highlighter, the pressed pearl highlighter. I have not been a fan of that formulation in the past, so I was very critical when I was looking at it in the store, and it seemed to be very, very obviously glittery. That tends to be the case with Physicians Formula highlighters, and why I don't usually go for them. I've found that to be true of the shimmer bricks. Now, I've not tried the ones that are 5 colors that are the stripes. That I have not tested. I have not tried that formula, so please don't think that that's what I'm speaking of. The ones I'm talking about are the little ones that come in a box that are 12 different little shades so that you can vary your highlight tone, based on what your skin tone is. That formula I do not like. I do not like the round highlighters that look like a little pearl in the middle. I do not like those. That's the formulation that they launched with this collection, is the round version. It's a limited edition shade that I believe is a light kind of pinky pearl shade that they have not previously had. They have a translucent pearl highlight, which I have decluttered from my collection because it just didn't look like anything. I could see very obvious chunks of glitter in this highlighter, so it did not appeal to me. I did not pick it up for that reason, but I just wanted to let you guys know what else is available in this collection. Even if it didn't appeal to me, it might appeal to you, so let me know. Hey there. I just wanted to check in and show you how these shadows are doing. I think they're doing great. It's been a few hours now since we finished applying them, and I just wanted to do a close-up to see how much it's faded and that sort of thing. I don't think it's faded very much. I haven't touched up anything. I did just put on this lip color again. I was actually wearing something else for another video for a little while. This is that nude lipstick again from the Physicians Formula collection. But yeah, I haven't changed anything. I haven't touched anything up. You can see my little sunglass lines. But I think this makeup is holding up really well. It doesn't look like anything is missing or anything is faded tremendously, anything like that. I feel like it's done really well. Long story short, based on what I can tell on these few hours of wear, this eyeshadow I think is definitely worth the price. These little quads I believe were $8 or $9 each, so at $2 a shadow it's really hard to beat that. Though you may not like every single one, and this one I do think there's one dud, but it's not unusable. For me, it's just not flattering on the texture of my eyelids, but it's still a usable shadow. It's still usable to kind of blend out your darker color and that sort of thing. If you enjoy glitter, if you enjoy high quality shadow and not necessarily paying that high quality price tag, this is a really great option for you. Definitely keep your eyes open for these quads in your local Walgreens. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you enjoy this eye look? Would you like to see a more wearable, more everyday look using these shadows? I'd be happy to do that for you too. Let me know down below what you guys would like to see from me next. I'm always happy to oblige. And I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening wherever you are. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We would love to have you join us for 2 beauty videos a week. Sometimes more if I'm feeling lucky, if I'm feeling feisty, who knows? And if you're not hearing from me, if you're not noticing when my new videos go up and you would like to be informed as to that, all you need to do is click that little bell next to the subscribe button, and that'll give you pop-up notifications on your phone or in your email saying that I posted something new. Anyway, keep dreaming.